Interview with the Vampire is a vampire drama directed by Neil Jordan, based on the Anne Rice novel of the same name. Brad Pitt plays Lewis, who is transformed by Lestat, played by Tom Cruise. The film chronicles their friendship. The film also stars Kirsten Dunst, Christian Slater, and Antonio Banderas. Howdy folks, welcome back to Garage Vampire-thon, where every day for the month of October we revisit a vampire movie. Today we're talking about Interview with the Vampire. This is a more mainstream vampire movie. One might even call it the Twilight that came out before Twilight, because you had these pretty boys, Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt, playing vampires. Kind of appeals to the same sensibilities. This film was directed by Neil Jordan, however, who is a director I really like. He made this great movie I reviewed on my channel already called Mona Lisa. Guys, if you haven't seen Mona Lisa, watch Mona Lisa. Great romantic movie. The Crying Game. My parents showed me The Crying Game when I was a little too young. That was my introduction to transgenders. Spoiler alert for The Crying Game, I guess. But yeah, two great movies, The Crying Game and Mona Lisa. And for that reason, I like Neil Jordan. This is something more mainstream for Neil Jordan. Performances in here, great across the board. Tom Cruise especially. Guys, you know me. I'm a Tom Cruise stan. Unapologetic Tom Cruise stan. Everyone loves him because of Top Gun 2. I feel like screaming on top of the rooftops. I loved Tom Cruise when he was at his worst. When he was jumping on Oprah's couch, I was standing by him. Now everyone's jumping on the Tom Cruise bandwagon. I love me some Tom Cruise. He really gives his all in every performance. People know him as Action Man now, and understandably so. He's in Top Gun Maverick, he's in the Mission Impossible movies. But to me, he's more than Action Man. He's got too many good performances under his belt. Born on the 4th of July, Magnolia. This movie, he's fantastic in. He really gives it his all. Not just Tom Cruise, however. Kirsten Dunst, child actor, but great in this. Christian Slater. I always love seeing Christian Slater in movies. He has such like a good charm to him. He's a very charming fella. The only one that really kind of didn't fit for me, quite frankly, was Brad Pitt. I don't buy him as like this vampire. He kind of gives me too much of a stoner vibe, just in general. He works in roles like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood or Inglourious Basterds. He has like this very like movie star quality about him, but I don't know if that movie star quality works with vampires. He's kind of miscast, I find, in it. I feel like maybe they put him in this movie because his name carries a lot of weight.
Jesus Christ! Don't be frightened. I want this opportunity.
How the hell did you do that?
The same as you do.
But unlike Tom Cruise, I felt like he didn't really fit in this movie all that much. Spooky moments in this movie. Great spooky moments. One that comes to mind, actually, is one where a statue's eyes move like that. Very subtle, but very eerie. Great mythology as well. I like what they do with the rules of a vampire. There's a certain point in here where Tom Cruise drinks dead vampire blood, which is a big no-no for vampires, apparently. I just like the kind of world building they do, the mythology they create around vampires. That first act is gold. Solid first act. I would say the first two acts are solid in this. When Brad Pitt gets turned into a vampire, you're really on board. His relationship with Tom Cruise is weird. They're really good friends, but something's just a little off. And just like a married couple, they think bringing a kid into the situation will fix everything, and it just makes everything worse. When the daughter comes along, she's basically Chucky. She's like this little cute kid, but she's really devilish inside and has like a really deep thirst for blood. And it adds a lot of conflict because this girl is a little girl on the outside, but she's aging on the inside, but she's not aging physically. Her physical appearance isn't changing. Adds a lot of conflict. I really like the dynamic between these three characters. Tom Cruise's character, Brad Pitt's character, and Kirsten Dunst's character. I also like the fact that Tom Cruise is a bit of a jerk in this movie. He only wants to drink the blood of the sophisticated aristocrats, and he fancies the high lifestyle. He goes to these fancy ballroom parties, and then he sucks the blood out of the women.
Where are we going?
Nowhere.
And that makes it all the more tragic when you see him at the end, the very end that is, and he's like half dead. This guy who used to be a lady killer going to these beautiful parties is now alone in this dingy fucking apartment, and Brad Pitt sees him many years later.
You've come home to me then? You remember how I was?
That's a truly good moment. So first half I really like in this movie, where it kind of plays out like a dysfunctional family. The movie kind of crashes and burns when it comes to the second act. There's this whole plot involving Antonio Banderas in a theater production, and I feel like it just doesn't work in this movie. As soon as you got rid of Tom Cruise, again, I'm a Tom Cruise stan, so take it with a grain of salt, but as soon as you got rid of Tom Cruise in the movie, and this kind of theater subplot emerged, I really lost interest in the movie, unfortunately. That's like the biggest problem I have with the movie, and it's a pretty glaring one. That second half with Antonio Banderas just doesn't cut it for me. I didn't really care about it. There was some great moments in it, for sure. Like the death of Kirsten Dunst's character was really tragic, and the emotion was there, I guess. It's just I had lost interest at that point. The movie was spent the first half setting up Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt's relationship, and then the second half just drops it and you're introduced to new characters, and you don't have enough time to fall in love with these characters the same way you fell in love with Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise. Yeah, I feel like maybe if they split it up into two. I know that's like a cliched thing to do, like Twilight broke the last book into Hunger Games, Harry Potter. But if they took if they took this and split into two, one movie about Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt, maybe another movie about Antonio Banderas' plot and Brad Pitt, maybe that could have worked. I don't know how thick the novel is, but I just feel like that second half was rushed and it was just like underwhelming. Guys, what are your thoughts on Interview with the Vampire? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you think I'm just a bunch of malarkey here? Well, I don't even know what I'm saying. Guys, comment below. Let me know. I want to hear your thoughts. And as always, I'll see you tomorrow for more Garage Vampire-thon.
Interview with the Vampire.